Okay, I felt pretty bored today when I pondered to myself which Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi game is the best. And out of plain boredom, I decided to compare all the games I had, and since I don't have Raging Blast 1 or Tenkaichi Tag Team, they're not going to be in this. The point system is going to work like this. First place gets 5 points, second place gets 4 points, third place gets 3 points, fourth place gets 2 points, and fifth place obviously gets 1 point. So, let us begin! Graphics. Okay, this is the most obvious answer in the world. Ultimate Tenkaichi wins because its graphics are fantastic, and Raging Blast 2 gets second for having very good graphics. But what about the PS2 games, which have similar enough graphics in my opinion? Well, I'd give third place to Tenkaichi 3 for better effects, while Tenkaichi 1 would beat 2 because the charging effects in Tenkaichi 1 are actually very good. Music. Tenkaichi 2 wins this one since the music in that is actually really good. The others are tricky to decide, but I think I'd give Raging Blast 2 second place for having pretty good music, while Tenkaichi 1 gets third place for having Budokai music, and Ultimate Tenkaichi beats Tenkaichi 3 because, well, it didn't have as many generic tracks as in Tenkaichi 3. Super attacks. Just put the games in reverse order and you have the super attacks from best to worst. World Tournament Mode. You had a hell of a lot of customization in Raging Blast 2, from picking what special rules there were, to even picking the fires if you wanted to, if you didn't want constant repeats of Broly popping up all over the place. Tenkaichi 3 had a lot of tournaments, with the Yamcha tournament being a particular highlight, but it was all randomized. You were allowed to pick which tournament you could fight in Tenkaichi 2, but you didn't have much customization. And in Ultimate Tenkaichi, you weren't really allowed to customize as much as in Raging Blast 2, and Tenkaichi 1 as, well, not much. Fan service. Raging Blast 2 had a 30-minute OVA and Bulma bathing, so it wins again. Tenkaichi 2 had a very faithful story adaptation, while Tenkaichi 3 had lots of characters, despite the fact that a lot of them were pointless. Ultimate Tenkaichi does have an awesome anime intro, while Tenkaichi 1 has not much. Amounts of characters and stages. Tenkaichi 1 has 90 odd characters and 11 stages. Tenkaichi 2 has around 120 characters and 16 stages. Tenkaichi 3 has 161 characters and 35 stages. Raging Blast 2 is around 90 characters and 14 stages, and not counting the custom characters, Ultimate Tenkaichi has 60-ish characters and 15 stages. Customization. Not including the character creator in Ultimate Tenkaichi, Raging Blast 2 wins for allowing you to choose 4 super attacks and 10 items per character, while Ultimate Tenkaichi only lets you choose 2 super attacks and 3 items. Tenkaichi 2 lets you put many items on your character and lets you use them in the story mode, and Tenkaichi 3 gets 4th place since you never really needed customization in Tenkaichi 1. Destructibility. Ultimate Tenkaichi wins this one since you can make massive holes in the arenas, and Tenkaichi 1 gets 2nd place for the fully destructible mountain road. Tenkaichi 3 and 2 tie since they have the same amount of destructibility, and Raging Blast 2 loses because it has the same amount of destructibility as Tenkaichi 3 and 2, but you can't destroy the earth. Story mode. Tenkaichi 2, in my opinion, has the flat-out best adaptation of the anime out of any of the PS2 Dragon Ball games. Tenkaichi 1 gets 2nd for having a pretty solid, if the boring, adaptation. Tenkaichi 3 gets 3rd place for having amusing scenarios like Kame-Sennin beating the living crap out of Broly, and Ultimate Tenkaichi only beats Raging Blast 2 since Raging Blast 2 didn't have a story mode. Extra modes. Tenkaichi 3 wins simply just of how many modes there are, particularly in the Ultimate Battle mode on the PS2. Tenkaichi 2 had a pretty fun team-up battle extravaganza. Raging Blast 2 has Gate Battle, but nothing more. Tenkaichi 1 has a long but boring 100-man match, and Ultimate Tenkaichi has Hero Mode, which actually does that a lot. Intro. Raging Blast 2 wins for having a mega super awesome kick-ass intro, while Tenkaichi 1 gets a similarly but not as awesome intro. Ultimate Tenkaichi gets 3rd place for having a great anime intro, while Tenkaichi 3 beats Tenkaichi 2, since Tenkaichi 3's intro had a Hironobu Kagayama song in it. Gameplay. Okay, I'm sorry, but Ultimate Tenkaichi's gameplay is just far too predictable and cheap to be anywhere than at the bottom, while Tenkaichi 1's gameplay, while primitive compared to the others, is pretty good. Tenkaichi 2 improves on the formula, but it isn't as fun as Tenkaichi 3 or Raging Blast 2, which, by the way, would tie at 2nd place. Final score. Since Budokai Tenkaichi 1 was the first attempt at this sort of gameplay, it's obvious that it would be the weakest in a lot of areas. And despite fantastic graphics and super attacks, Ultimate Tenkaichi fails in a lot of areas as well. Tenkaichi 2 does have fantastic music and a great story adaptation, but it's beaten by Tenkaichi 3 mainly due to gameplay. However, Raging Blast 2 does add in a lot of customization and brings in subtle new ideas that refine the gameplay, so the winner today is Raging Blast 2. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to run for my life because people are going to kill me for saying that there is actually a game that's better than the godliness of Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Good day.